Welcome to Our Jewish Roots, with insightful Bible teaching from Israel by Dr. Jeffrey Seif. This week we continue looking at Jesus' teaching as he calls us to walk the narrow path and bear fruit, coming up on Sar Shalom, Prince of Peace.
This story isn't about what he'll do as much as it's about what he wants us to do. The reason why I say that, he says, yeah, God's going to hook you up. God's going to help you. Realizing that, what short of men and women ought we to be? This is the point in verse 12. Mindful that we have a loving God who's going to take care of us, Jesus says, therefore, whatever you want men or women to do to you, do also to them, which is the point of the story. For this is the Torah, or the law, or the teaching, and the prophets, the Nevi'im. If one looks at Jesus' point, never mind our own wanting the Lord to show up and be our Santa with presents in hand, that being true, he's willing to do that. What he wants from us is he wants us to do unto others the way that we would have God to do unto us. Now let me ask you a question. In your heart of hearts, do you have that message? Whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them.
ייכנסו דרך הפתח הצר, כי רחב הפתח, ומרווחת הדרך המובילה לאבדון, ורבים הולכים בה.
It's a narrow, precarious pathway. Some have found their way to the top successfully, while others have not. There's little question that the way is difficult. Little question the obstacles are real. But the goal is worth the prize. Waiting just ahead at the end of the path is life eternal and the kingdom of heaven.
And Jesus said, enter by the narrow way, the way that leads to life. He spoke of the other way as a way that leads to death. I've discovered, by the way, that people can lead themselves to ruin very easily. Jesus says the way to life is rather hard to find. It's a narrow way, and those that make their way to it are few. What does Jesus actually mean when he says, you'll know them by their fruits? If one looks at this Sermon on the Mount, therein he talks about a number of things that he's looking to see manifest over time. A genteel kind of seeking after God, difficulties notwithstanding, a private prayer life, personal piety as manifested in charity, the just and equitable employment of financial resource for God's good purposes, not just one's own. In different ways, individuals are beckoned to cultivate this, which is the kind of life that the Lord's looking for. It's not just a question of showing up at First Baptist Church or First whatever church and singing the hymns and speaking the right kind of language, having the right kind of talk. Because you can recall perhaps the Lord who says, and I quote, they profess me with their lips, but the hearts are far from me. The way to have a heart that's with him is through deeds, not just creeds.